Have you ever been in a situation where you had a great idea, you tried your best to convey that idea to the crowd, but it just didn't land it well? You can't convey your thoughts more clearly, or it didn't help you sound competent enough, or give the people you're presenting enough confidence that your idea really matters in the organization or the team. I have been that person where I have fumbled with ideas for a long time. I couldn't have that competent speaking ability, or I couldn't deliver my ideas in an effective way. And I have worked on these competency skills for a long time. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing you these 5 techniques which are backed by science, used by all the successful speakers in the world, and how these techniques can be used in your daily conversations at work, in business, or even in your universities. It can help you make the competent and the most confident speaking person in the whole crowd. Imagine this. Let's say in the university, I'm giving a presentation. I am the leader of the group, and I want to convey the idea in front of my supervisors that how the group deserves the best possible marks. But if there is fumbling, or if there is lack of confidence, they may not get the idea, and that's how you won't get the maximum marks. This is just an academic example. But before deep diving into the powerful tricks, let me tell you something. It doesn't need you to be the best English speaking person, or it doesn't have to be that your vocabulary needs to be strong. English is my third language, so if I can do it, you can definitely do it. So out of these 5 techniques, let me know which one you're gonna use first. So let's deep dive into the number 1. Pause before you speak. You would have seen many people talking about the importance of pausing, the importance of why you should pause when somebody asks you a question, because pause helps sink in the emotion of the conversation, and other person who's asking you the question thinks that yes, you have heard them, you are processing what they said, and they are now curious to see what you're saying. For example, you're in a job interview and the interviewer asks you, do you think that your experience will be helpful for this company? If you're somebody who just started with, oh yes, 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 I think that this is that, and my experience is this, and this is going to help you this way, the interviewer will think that you were ready with the answer even before the question was finished. So it gives them the impression that you're not a good listener. On the other hand, if you handle the situation like this, the interviewer will ask you, do you think that your experience will help in the company? Just take a pause and then you say, yes, definitely, because these are the skills I'm bringing to the table, and this is how I will transform the skills I have towards the mission of the company. Since you have taken that initial pause, this gives the interviewer more confidence that yes, this person have heard the question, he has processed the response, and now the interviewer is much more keen to listen to what you have to say. That's why pause is the most powerful thing you can do to sound more confident and competent. Moving on, the next tip is drop your tone at the end. You would have seen people talking with a very high pitch at every sentence. So I think this is what gonna happen. Oh, I think this is what gonna do this, that. Even if you don't realize, it make the sentence sound as a question. For example, I think this is gonna work against, I think this is gonna work. So the second sentence, since I have lowered down the speed and the tone of my voice, it makes it more deep and people trust it more than the first example where I'm talking with a very high pitch, it make it sound like a question. And I agree that talking with high energy is useful in certain contexts as well, but you have to read the room and you have to figure out which and what is important in that particular situation. So if you drop your tone at the end, it makes your sentence more impactful. The third point which I would like to say is use a clear structure. This comes with the practice. Try to talk in a framework. The framework have 3 subtopics, which is why are you talking it, what is the impact of it, and one example. For example, if you are a manager and if you're not happy with the handover process of if somebody leaving the job and new person coming in, if you want to make that more effective, you can start with why you want the process, why it is important, and an example. For example, when Jason leaves the job, John has to accept all the files within a particular period of time. The reason this is important is because in the past we have wasted a lot of time in this handover process. One of the examples is when the previous person left, the next person had no clue what they were working on, and the overall team's efficiency dropped. So you see, if I'm talking in a clear structure or framework, it makes my sentence or what I'm speaking more competent and more confident. Now, the fourth tip is you have to cut down on the filler words, because filler words robs your sentence from clarity. And by filler words, I mean I think, these filler words. I'm not saying that you have to completely get rid of them. It's quite natural to have filler words. But if out of 10 sentences you're using the filler words in all of them, it's not the best practice, because it reduces the clarity of what you speak drastically. One of the exercises which I tell my students to see how many filler words they're using is just record yourself in Zoom. They have an option of transcripts. Once you create the transcripts, you can see where you're using and then you can use many online tools to reduce those filler words and rehear what you have said. You will see the differences before and after filler words. And with this single exercise, you can see how the filler words are robbing you from your clarity. So please do this exercise. Let me know in the comment section how do you feel about it and what differences you have seen in before the filler words and after without the filler words. The last but not the least is have the confident phrases in your communication. By confident phrases, I'll give you an example. So a lot of people say that I think this may help us achieve this. But a similar example of confident phrases is my recommendation to solve this problem is this. Here is what I suggest based on my past experiences. This. Based on what I have seen, this will be the best solution for this problem. So you see, I'm saying the same thing but with a lot of confidence, a lot of competency, and it is much more positive than having the self-doubt, because the previous phrases of I think this may, people will think that you're not sure about what you're talking about. So please use all these positive, affirmative, and strong sentences. After these 5 techniques, I guarantee you that if you start to use even 2 or 3 of them on a daily basis, this will improve your communication to a great extent, and you will start to see how people are getting impressed on how you speak, how you talk in interview, and even in general your life. You can try not only at workplace, you can try this at home as well, with your partners, with your family, and you will see it makes you a better, a clearer, and confident speaking person. If you think there is somebody that will get help from having these techniques in their back pocket, please share this video with them. If you like what I say, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.